Arriving at Pradon, a planet known for its salt deserts and barely breathable atmosphere. The team approaches a rendezvous point during a magnetic storm that limits visibility. They attempt to contact Castor's cradle facility, but receive no response when transmitting landing codes. A bond of trust exists due to a past battlefield rescue. The team needs to be discreet about their true identity as AWOL Marines seeking to extract a security chief. They plan to use a cover story about being lost working Joes. The ship comes under sudden attack, causing critical engine damage and forcing an emergency landing. The stubber thruster operates at 50% capacity as they race to put the damaged vessel down safely near the rendezvous coordinates. After landing, the crew assesses their situation. The engines are critically damaged with several broken airflow valves. Oddly, there is no response from station security despite their dramatic arrival. They speculate it might have been automated defenses that attacked them. A message from Carver reveals he intended to explain everything in person, but left instructions to find answers. He provided a disk to sync their datapad with GES systems and access facility maps. Carver hints at exposing wrongdoing by Gemini Exoplanet Solutions and BG Swift. The ship requires major repairs before it can fly again. Long-range communications are being jammed, isolating them. With no sign of Carver or others, and perfect conditions for hiding illegal activities, they prepare to investigate on foot. The situation becomes dire with the discovery of xenomorphs in the facility. While one team member stays to work on ship repairs, the other proceeds to explore cautiously, maintaining radio silence when necessary to avoid detection. An attempt to use a borrowed PDT keycard reveals biometric security measures. When tried, it triggers an alert due to vital sign mismatches, suggesting something happened to the original cardholder and drawing unwanted attention. The team reunites inside the facility after dealing with xenomorph encounters. The ship needs about a week of repairs before it can fly. They cannot send messages off-world, and the borrowed keycard fails biometric checks. They decide to search the facility for answers. The team discovers terminals that might contain valuable intelligence. They find a way to potentially upgrade biometric clearance, but need an existing employee's drive to speed up the process. They split up, one searching for Carver, while the other looks for employee data. A tense situation unfolds with multiple hostile encounters and security checks. After confirming safety, there are several rounds of combat followed by biometric updates at a security checkpoint. The process includes palm prints, photos, and ID card verification as part of the GES facility protocols. A lead is discovered through PDT keycard access logs linked to Carver. Though the timestamps are corrupted, the last known location was the mess hall. This revelation prompts immediate action to investigate the mess hall area for further clues. During decontamination, concerns arise about Carver's potential involvement with weaponizing xenomorphs. While hoping Carver wasn't knowingly involved in anything nefarious, his call for help suggests he had some level of awareness about the situation. The extent of his knowledge remains uncertain. The mess hall investigation reveals no sign of Carver, but confirms the presence of a xenomorph nest near an elevator shaft. The tactical situation becomes dire with multiple entry points for hostile forces. Defensive measures are taken, including securing doors and managing limited ammunition. Communication is established with Davis, who has infiltrated a nest. Zula is discovered in what appears to be a boiler room or environmental control area. Despite heavy resistance, rescue attempts are coordinated while dealing with dwindling ammunition supplies. Davis is found severely injured. Following synthetic emergency protocols, Davis' head is separated from the damaged body, with plans to transfer to a new synthetic body. This desperate measure is necessary for survival as they plan their escape route through the elevator on the loading dock. The escape attempt faces complications with xenomorphs in the elevator shaft. Security protocols engage, requiring the area to be cleared before movement can resume. The situation becomes a battle for survival while managing increasingly limited resources. Davis' consciousness is successfully transferred to a datapad. The conversation reveals that one person has been infected by a xenomorph. They develop a plan to expose illicit activities at the facility by infiltrating the OPS command center to bypass communication jamming. The next phase involves accessing a terminal at the operations center. Davis, now integrated into the tablet, gains enhanced ability to interface with GES systems. This new capability offers improved chances of exposing the truth about the facility's activities. Access was granted to enter the mess hall, where equipment could be retrieved. After gaining entry, there was a confusing exchange over communication channels with someone named Natalie Sylvia, though the conversation was fragmented and unclear due to interference. The maintenance tunnel leading to a missile was identified as the next destination. A heartfelt conversation occurred about a previous failed rescue attempt. Despite the failure to rescue initially, it was acknowledged that working together as a unit against overwhelming odds was itself a miracle. The exchange ended with expressions of gratitude rather than apology. The search continued for missing equipment, specifically a pulse rifle, while ammunition supplies ran low. Reinforced glass barriers were encountered that would require the pulse rifle to breach. The rifle had been left behind during an earlier rescue mission, prioritizing the search for personnel over equipment retrieval. Plans were made to return to operations by backtracking to a security checkpoint that would lead to needed elevators. The mess hall could be exited by breaking a fuse box with the recovered pulse rifle. However, the environment remained tense and uninviting. A mysterious, threatening communication occurred, warning about keeping secrets and threatening to expose unspecified indiscretions to colleagues. The messenger demanded acknowledgement of understanding and secrecy, creating an atmosphere of paranoia and tension. Efforts focused on sending a message to Ripley. A terminal connected to the communications system needed to be located to investigate signal interference. The open windows presented tactical vulnerabilities that needed to be addressed before potential hostile encounters. Access to central control revealed deliberate sabotage of communication systems. 3 data samples needed to be collected and scanned to restore functionality. The process required careful decryption to preserve data integrity. A heartfelt message was recorded for Amanda, revealing an infection situation and plans for a final stand. The station systems began malfunctioning, likely due to the saboteur's attention. Plans were made to manually lock out the interference by accessing the communications array on the upper-level catwalk. The situation became increasingly urgent as systems continued to destabilize. Upon reaching their destination, they found a deceased individual rather than the active saboteur. An autonomous signal jamming device was discovered. The situation appeared more complex than initially thought, requiring continued vigilance. With signal interference eliminated, attention turned to final objectives. Rather than continuing the search for survivors, the decision was made to destroy the facility. A plan formed to use a damaged ship's engines as an explosive device, despite suggestions to seek medical alternatives for an infection situation. The team headed toward the mess hall on floor 2 to execute their final mission. A tense discussion reveals plans involving desecrated corpses as a distraction and mentions Vigy Swift having greater significance. Someone named Benjamin Carver is being questioned about additional information, but claims to have nothing more to share. During a casual gathering, participants discuss a major board presentation. Cox had someone running AV equipment. The conversation reveals significant changes coming, including opening basement facilities with advanced equipment that surpasses their medical capabilities. A shift in leadership is announced, with Dr. Holland maintaining but diminishing control of prosthetics. A dangerous situation unfolds where someone needs to make a risky jump to reach a ship. Despite concerns about making the jump with equipment, an attempt is made, resulting in a rough landing, though the impact is partially absorbed by protective gear. During decontamination, two individuals discuss sticking together through their mission. One offers to protect the other by separating, but this is firmly rejected based on previous experience of leaving their side. They commit to finishing their mission together. The power appears to be cut in a wing of the facility, possibly due to sabotage. The situation requires extreme caution. They encounter unusual behavior from creatures, with modified hosts showing unexpected reactions. The group navigates through the facility, heading toward an elevator. They remain cautious about potential dangers and prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. Plans are made to reach the garage through floor 1, with the ship being a short distance away. They encounter space constraints and must use emergency access routes. Facehuggers show unusual behavior towards someone with an unspecified condition. As weather conditions worsen, they follow a road toward their ship. They discover inactive synthetic workers, stripped of human interaction capabilities due to failed audits. This was deemed more cost-effective than repairs. An encounter with Helen, a synthetic team lead, reveals the ship is marked for impounding. They carefully request capacitor rods without revealing their true intentions. Helen agrees to help, but seems unaware of recent events. The final confrontation builds as ammunition runs low. A critical decision point arrives regarding ship systems and reactor power. Despite initial success connecting to facility power, complications arise when Helen becomes suspicious of their activities. The situation culminates in a tense debate about using a med pod for treatment versus completing their original mission. A medical emergency situation unfolds where someone needs urgent assistance to remove an alien organism. The medical team prepares emergency facilities and provides elevator access on the south side. Special clearance is required for the operating theater, and the location is marked on a map for navigation. There is skepticism about the convenient timing of the offered help, suggesting it could be a distraction from another mission involving the ship. Despite the suspicion, the lack of other options makes this medical procedure worth pursuing, even if just to buy more time for finding answers. Power is restored, and Helen arrives at the medical facility. The MedPod system is discussed with mixed feelings of hope and uncertainty. A new PDT keycard clearance is prepared for the procedure, requiring only terminal insertion. Time is limited, but investigation of the facility is recommended before proceeding. Security protocols activate due to unauthorized lifeform detection, triggering facility lockdowns. These interruptions continue throughout the preparation process, requiring constant management of security systems and power distribution to maintain facility access. The true nature of the facility is revealed as a xenomorphic research center. The MedPod appears specifically configured for extraction procedures, suggesting multiple similar operations occurred previously. A corpse discovery requires UV laser ablation system cleaning using purge canisters. The purge sequence is completed successfully, preparing the MedPod for operation. Despite concerns about potential experimentation, the procedure begins with local anesthesia rather than general at the patient's insistence. The extraction process starts amid increasing security threats. Complications arise during the extraction when a hostile life form approaches. Emergency protocols activate, leading to a confrontation. The team devises a plan to use the MedPod purge sequence laser as a weapon against the creature, requiring careful timing and coordination. The situation intensifies with system lockdowns and discovered hidden areas of the facility. The team successfully uses explosive gas lines and containment protocols to combat the threat, ultimately prevailing in the confrontation despite sustaining injuries. An unexpected radio contact reveals survivors, including Carver, holding out in a previously unknown sub-basement 6 with approximately 100 staff in cryo-storage. Access requires voice print authorization for a classified cargo elevator, leading to discussions about Dr. Rabia's work and future plans. There was a strong commitment expressed to stay and see things through to completion, refusing to abandon the situation before getting resolution. The determination to persevere and find answers was clear.